So housing costs, as other costs of living like food and utilities, is very high. So the solutions that we propose to build more affordable housing, implementing rent control policies like rent control, and simplifying rental requirements like credit check, proof of income that creates a difficult process to be able to find a home if you're renting a home. The third topic that came up, it was transportation. So basically what we shared, so there was not enough transportation, lack of reliable transportation, including public transportation, and the impact of commuting. Traffic really damaged life quality. A lot of you share that you had to commute very uh, long commutes, lots of hours, and that really impacted the quality of life, and that there's no reliable transportation or public transportation for the time that we hours that we needed. The solutions are expand public transportation and route options, and also to create local employment to decrease commute requirements. So immigration topics, this came up in several sessions because there's limitation and discrimination, but also in the immigration system that there is many aspects of people with that don't have documents, and that creates difficulty in the development of the area. So we suggested that the programs that were community programs, including social or that would include the immigrants without seeing their immigration status. So this can include the support to education, security, etc. So the fifth area was childcare that impacts the ability to go work and look for your opportunities. So the lack of childcare, of quality and availability and preschool, it is a big barrier that was identified. We suggested that we could increment the amount of centers and give training for the childcare providers, and also to increase their salary so they can get ahead with this work. So we also suggested to give grants and financial help and increment the ability and contract for for more teachers. And the last topic was health and well-being. So we talked that there was limited access to health and well-being in the rural areas, including mental health. So we suggested to increase the amount of medical providers, including clinics, trainings for the healthcare workers so they know how to work with different cultures, and to expand medical coverage in the state of California. Other additional topics that were not highlighted were, for example, climate emergencies and low regional resilience that affect these industries, like, for example, agriculture, and also the need for financial aid and guidance for higher education of the youth. It's either trade or university. So here's some pictures of the sessions that we had. There were many sessions. We included some in Watsonville, Hollister, in other areas. So we had the honor to be able to share with many people from the community. And this is what we heard in the area of Monterey and Santa Cruz and San Benito through these sessions that Ventures was able to. So right now we're going to give the results of other organizations with Uplift, combine all the information in just in the one single report. For this report, so Uplift reviewed notes from 17 CBOs, including Venture. All of us together, we did 56 listening sessions with 1,516 people, the residents across 6 Central Coast counties, and the topics they were going to help to plan the regional plan that is the second part of the Uplift effort. Similar to Ventures, in each session, we took notes from each listening sessions. We reviewed these notes and we found the key themes. And like today, we're sharing all those topics so we can confirm and answer any questions to make sure that we're on the right path, that this is right and this is a correct path for the community. So the topics that were identified from these 56 listening sessions, they're here. They're available. There's a lot of topics. In this case, we're going to see everything that was covered and everything that was highlighted. High cost of housing, similar as our sessions. Quality jobs in the region. There's not enough quality jobs in the area. There's a limited access to childcare, limited healthcare access, discrimination and racism, and transportation systems are not enough, language barriers, immigration challenges, under-resourced education and training opportunities. And there's a lot of challenges that indigenous community face, lack of equitable food access, lack of sufficient internet access, desire for financial literacy, public safety concerns, and strong sense of community. These were the topics. Some of them we hear of them and we highlight them, but they were shared through all the counties that participated in these 56 listening sessions. So high cost of living, especially the high cost of housing, is a significant barrier that really highlights. And the lack of affordable housing was mentioned in almost every listening session. Also, we talked about the difficulty of the inclusion of, Black, Indigenous, and people of color. They face racism so they can have access and have quality jobs. Another topic or theme that was suggested were strategies. So, how we can advocate for more affordable housing and invest in more public transportation and create financial literacy programs. Those were one of the suggestions that were given in the area. We also talked about lack of reliable transportation, childcare, and the language barriers because of the different languages or cultures that exist in the area. So, what we learned, lessons learned through these conversations, it was how important it is to share and connect and the wisdom that exists in the community and how we're really not alone. Our fights are very similar. The problems are almost the same in Ventura or in San Benito. And there's a lot of voices that did not feel heard, but the process helped them to elevate that knowledge and that and we were able to highlight solutions that were able to planify or to plan other type of financial development that sometimes we did not cover, and that there's a high need to focus centered in equity so we can develop our economic system. And with that, I'm going to stop a minute. I'm going to stop sharing. I don't know if there's a question or a comment. I know that some of the people that are here present, there were in one of these sessions. And I don't know if you have a question or if you want to comment. And if not, we can continue and go to the next steps that we have in this effort. Is there a question? You can put the questions in the chat and then we can answer all the questions in the chat if you want to ask anything. And if there's no questions, we're going to continue with the presentation. So what's next? So we did the listening sessions, we had the conversations, we had the interviews, not only with ventures, but with the other 56 organizations that participated. And now we have this information, we do a summary, and now all this information is aligned, and we're saying what the community confirms that they shared, so we can present it as options and start to create an implementation plan. So the strategies of what was suggested with this knowledge or this base that comes with the regional plan, we concentrated in certain strategies that I'm going to share at this moment that I'm going to mention. So precision manufacturing and advanced business services, hospitality and tourism, agriculture as industries of sections that can strategies of entrepreneurship, environmental protection, and climate action, arts and culture, nonprofit. And we also have higher education from school to higher education, workforce housing, food systems, immigration, and childcare. These are the strategy topics. So with these topics and what came up, so we start to create next steps through these topics. So there's going to be an uplift that's going to have all this information that you can also send your comments. And there's going to be a newsletter with updates, and the state is going to finance Uplift so they can give grants to different projects that reflect these topics and these implementation strategies in the fall of this year. The webpage so we can follow this project is upliftcentralcoast.org, where you can continue being part of this path.